Hey there, Elevate 78. This is your daily video devotional for Saturday, April 11th, the day between Good Friday and Easter Sunday. And it's a day that the Bible doesn't say anything about. So where do we go for our daily readings? Well, we're going to go into the Old Testament, to the book of Isaiah, chapter 53. But let me encourage you, if you have not watched the Lumo Project videos that are on our website, they tell the story of Easter, and there's no better way to get into the story of Easter, I think, than to see it on your screen. Also, if you haven't read Isaiah chapter 53, go ahead and pause the video right now and come back to it and let's unpack it. Because in Isaiah chapter 53, it tells us some important things about Jesus. And you know, some people like a version of Jesus that cuts out the death and resurrection. They like what he taught, they like that he healed and performed miracles, but when it comes to Good Friday, well, that's a little too bloody and too gory, and the resurrection, maybe I don't believe that. But let me tell you why it's essential that we believe that about Jesus and why it is the most important part of the story. And it comes from Isaiah chapter 53. As you read this chapter, ask yourself, how much in here do you see that describes Jesus? How about verse 3? He was despised and rejected by mankind, a man of suffering and familiar with pain. Sound like the crucifixion? Verse 4, surely he took up our pain and bore our suffering, yet we considered him punished by God, stricken by him, and afflicted. The disciples, and certainly the onlookers as they watched Jesus being crucified, just thought, wow, this wasn't about us. He's being punished by God, but they were getting it wrong. Verse 5 says, but he was pierced for our transgressions. He was crushed for our iniquities. That means our guilt for our wrongdoing. Verse 6, we all like sheep have gone astray, and the Lord has laid on him the iniquity or the guilt of us all. Jesus often used the metaphor of sheep. He said, I'm the good shepherd. And now, like sheep, we just went our own way. So God laid the guilt of us on Jesus. Verse 7, he was led like a lamb to the slaughter. You may have heard Jesus referred to as our Passover lamb. Verse 10, it was the Lord's will to crush him and cause him to suffer. God meant for this to happen because, verse 12, therefore I will give him a portion among the great, and he will divide the spoils with the strong, because he poured out his life unto death and was numbered with the transgressors. So something great is about to happen to Jesus. He's not only going to be resurrected from the dead, that's a pretty big deal, but he's going to ascend into heaven and be seated in the most honored place, the right hand of God. And that's why the suffering of Jesus matters, because it accomplished something in us, and it accomplished something for him, the position of great honor. For tomorrow, read the story of Easter Sunday from Mark chapter 16. We'll talk about it right here.